Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate consumers, grow their practices, and to leave a legacy. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. And I'm doing a series of spotlights on remarkable advisors across the country and in your town. Joining me on this segment is J.D. Dorfman. He's the founder of Phoenix Financial Retirement Planning. And J.D., welcome to the program.
Oh, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Tell us a little bit about your work and specifically who are the types of folks that you help?
Well, our target market or our target client is somebody that is basically looking for an opportunity to have their retirement funds last. I think we're all taught to save in the very beginning, whether it was grandma or grandpa who gave us a savings bond and said, put this away, or mom and dad said, hey, you just got your first job, maybe you should start saving some money. So we hopefully do that along the way. And then in the very so-called end, when we're trying to get retirement, hopefully you've done some sort of planning where that nest egg that you've created, you won't deplete. That it happens to be the most important factor these days. How do we make it last? That is number one in my field, and that is number one in my goal. And what we try to do, basically make that nest egg last, so you're not worried down the road that you're going to deplete that nest egg, that whatever you put aside for retirement lasts you that long. So you do the things, whether it's travel, spend more time with your spouse, or pick up a new hobby. So in a nutshell, my job is to make sure that whatever you save lasts a lifetime.
In this recent pandemic, has that changed or shifted any ways that you recommend working with money, or at least even in the mindset of your clients? Has it changed anything?
I think people have become more motivated. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but I think people have become more motivated to look at their retirement. Maybe it's because they've had more time at home to talk about it with their spouse, because there were times that we were obviously homebound and wouldn't leave, and discussions were taking place about, how are we going to do A, B, and C down the road. You get married and you do certain things, and you're trying to plan. The first thing you do is talk about getting home. And the next thing is trying to figure out about retirement and those steps. So I'd like to say that we're just more aware right now of retirement. The stock market has done, some absolute leaps and bounds from what we've had in the entire history of the stock market. So that has really gotten people's attention, and to take advantage of that, whatever gains that they've sustained. Again, it's all about, how we make it last. But I think just the awareness, I think we're just more aware. And let's face it, maybe from the market standpoint, but it's hard to make a dollar these days. It's not exactly that easy anymore. A lot of businesses have cut back, with the jobs being out there in the field, and a lot of people are working from home. So I think the more that people are home, they're talking more with their spouse about retirement plan.
In today's age of information overload, I'd imagine there's a lot of folks, scouring the web to try to figure out how to do their financial plan on their own or kick the can down the road. What are some big myths or misconceptions that you hear out there that probably keep people from getting their financial houses in order?
That's really good. That's a very good question. My theory has always been there are certain things in life that we shouldn't do on our own. I'm not about to get underneath my car and change my oil. Now, that's not to say that some people can't do that. I'm sure they can, but that's not something I could do. Or some people enjoy decorating their house for Christmas. Other people hire people to do that for them. So if you really don't have the experience in planning and knowing what to look for and how to position an asset, I really would recommend not doing that on your own. It's just like anything else. We go to a professional, whatever. Do you cut your own hair? Do you, like I said, change your own oil? Do you diagnose yourself when you're not feeling well? These things that we probably can't do, but should we do? So it's always a good idea to get a professional involved in many different things that we face in life, specifically retirement planning. I highly recommend being with a professional who's done this for a while, whether it's myself or someone else, because I just don't think it's something that you want to take any chances with. This is an opportunity to get this right the first time. And let's make sure that you do that and not take those unnecessary chances.
Yeah, really great advice, and it makes total sense because if something that you really care about, and money is relatively important, I'd imagine. Like if you don't care what you look like, maybe you can cut your own hair. But if something like this, you want to leave it to the professionals for sure.
Right.
JD, what inspired you to get into financial services? How did you get started in helping other people?
Well, first I wanted to laugh about that. I was I feel that I change and help life every single day. Sometimes we have to be saved from ourselves and making decisions that may not be in our best interest. So, uh, I started out again, thinking maybe law. I ended up with a BA in psychology. Go figure. And then I ended up planning. But I feel I've been doing this for 20 years. I feel that this is exactly where I belong because it's a comfort zone for me. I can look at a situation and really diagnose what is the issue, what we're not doing, what maybe we're doing well, what they're not doing. So again, I'm not a doctor, but I'd like to think that I help shape lives every day, and that's something I thoroughly enjoy. I just, without sounding so common, I really do enjoy helping people. When I've gone in and I've done a plan for someone, or we've created a trust, and know that they're now protected, I feel much better about that. One person at a time. I can't help everybody, but definitely try.
When you start working with somebody, do you find that people make big, glaring, common mistakes or fall into the common pitfalls that you might want to make people aware of?
Absolutely. I think one of the most common mistakes, and this is in my opinion, is as we get older, I think people are unaware when to pull out of the market into a safe position. That to me is the most common mistake that I see. You have someone who's 60, 65, 70 years old, 80% of their portfolio is invested in aggressive or even moderate funds, and their entire nest egg is available for stock market loss. That's a problem. It's easy to get caught up with the adrenaline in the stock market, especially when the market's performing so well. But as they always say, what goes up must come down. And I've seen it happen many times where pre-retirees or retirees get caught in the adrenaline or get caught making a decision that really impacts their livelihood and their lifetime. So my job is to make sure that they don't make those kind of decisions. We take a majority off the table, protect it, allow it to generate lifetime income, so they don't have to take those chances. I think often we think we have to take chances that we really don't need to, especially when people get their foot and say, "Well, I don't have enough. I need to make more. So how do I double it? How do I triple it? Because I know it's just not going to work." Well, have you really done the diligence to make sure that that's the case? Because there are a lot of plans out there that are not available on commercial USA, and you have to go to a planner. You have to go to someone who's prepared in retirement planning who can educate you in some of those options. Again, it's always wise to sit down with someone before you take any unnecessary chances.
Before I ask you my last question, JD, when folks are considering working with an advisor, what would you say is the most important thing that they should consider?
As far as who they meaning varies.
How do they choose an advisor? What should they look for?
I think experience is important. Obviously, anybody that's been doing something for a while, they've actually been the majority of the time successful in doing that, whatever the profession is. So I think experience is something, obviously, with a firm that may be recognized is also a good idea. But ask somebody, ask a friend, ask a neighbor, who do they work with? Who do they recommend? And if they've had a good experience, there's a good chance that you will. 80% of business is based on referral. I don't, you know, it, being a financial planner, a financial advisor with a client is like a marriage. It's not a one-off. It's not a one and done. I'm going to be with you for quite a while. So it's definitely a relationship that you need to make sure is a fit. Just because you get rid of someone may not be the right person for you. So you have to feel them out, have a sit down, have a discussion. But it's important to really interview that person. And again, friends, family members, they're a good point of reference. Those are the starting points where they may be able to guide you and say, yes, this person helped me tremendously in our finances and our retirement planning. So I would definitely, with your sphere of influence and who you know best.
Terrific. JD, for folks listening that would like to speak with you, how do they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Well, my website is financialplanning.com. You can also get me directly. I have several assistants. If you want to get to me directly, you absolutely can. My number is 602 550 7538. It's 602 550 7538. You're not going to get handed off to one of my assistants. I will get back with you in a timely fashion, and we'll have a discussion. I'm not here to sell you. My job is to educate. And if there's a relationship there to be done, then we'll definitely look at that next step. But, I would love, that's my job. My job is to help people and try to make sure that whatever they've accumulated or what they've not accumulated, try to get them on the right road to do so.
I appreciate that. JD, this has been terrific, and thank you so much for taking the time sharing with my audience today. I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
I greatly appreciate the opportunity. Thank you so much, Mark. It's been wonderful.
That's JD Dorfman. He's the founder of Phoenix Financial Retirement Planning. And this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals get their books done to educate consumers, grow their practices, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.